Hello, my name is Randall Borden. I'm an attorney here in Virginia and in Maryland. I practice family law, and the topic of this video is going to be how fathers can get custody in a child custody case. So the overall factor that the court must consider is the best interest of the child. So in Virginia and Maryland, they have a number of factors as to what that means. Those factors are set out in the Virginia Code and the Maryland Code. The court must go through each of those factors and make a determination as to each factor, whether it applies, and if it does apply, how it applies to you, what the decision was by the court as to each of the factors. So this is going to be more of a hands-on as to what you can do right now. So you have a court hearing coming up, so there is a definite date and time for that, and you've got to plan out what you're going to do between now and then. The most important thing is obviously to get organized. So you may have some deadlines before that court date, like when does discovery close? When do you have to turn over documents? When do you have to answer questions? That's called discovery, the exchange of information prior to trial. You probably have deadlines for witnesses and exhibits. And so you want to make sure that you have that planned out ahead of time and that you respond or help your lawyer respond on time. So you want to be aware of the deadlines. Obviously, ask your lawyer for the deadlines, and of course, meet with your lawyer to make a strategy. So you've got a certain time period between now and your trial date, and then you can make your evidence for that trial. For example, you want to be organized, show the court you're organized, and if you're organized and prepared for your case, it tells the court you're organized and prepared to take care of a child or children. Ask your lawyer or find out how you're going to present that to court. It's usually 3-ring binders for the documents. It's usually overhead projector or maybe a video screen for the pictures. You want a lot of pictures. You want a lot of documents. You want to have that in a proper format. So, for example, you want to show the court that you're capable of taking care of your child. Well, what does that mean? It means pay stubs, bank statements, credit cards, tax returns, health insurance. So that's just to show the judge that you are, employed, that you have money and time, and you have a good work record, you have a good credit record, you pay your taxes, you meet your obligations in the financial realm. So the other side is going to ask for all of those things, and they'll make sure that you know whether that's good for you or bad for you. And if it's bad for you, then you want to be able to deal with it and explain it. Obviously, between now and the trial, you want to show up for work on time, pay all your bills, get a good haircut, and so forth. So the other records you're going to be turning over will be, for example, related to your home. So get a copy of the lease, get a copy of a mortgage or a deed to your house. If you live there, they'll probably want to see your car loans, your car titles, things that show you're capable, get your car washed, take pictures of that, get a haircut, get a suit, take pictures of that, take pictures of your home. All those documents are going to have to be turned over, and the sooner the better. So turn them over to your lawyer, not the day before. You're going to be organizing those for presentation at trial. So make sure you have, a lot of pictures of your home, your car, your workplace, your school, your neighbors, your child's home or school or playground or sports, your family, the people that you intend to call as witnesses, people that you intend to use to take care of your child if there's a backup. You want to have pictures of your child with these people, pictures of your child at those locations. So again, you've got a great opportunity to make your evidence. The kind of a standard gotcha question that you're going to be asked on the witness stand by the mother's attorney is information about your child. They're just standard gotcha questions, and be ready for it. So who is your child's teacher, homework, classes, And you need to know that. You need to be aware of that. Doctors, pediatricians, what's the schedule for vaccinations? When's the next dental checkup? Orthodontia, and of course, sports, anything, piano lessons, ballet practice, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts. You need to have all of that organized, and you've got to know it, practice it. You're going to be on the stand. They're going to grill you. When was the last time you taught? And not only knowing it, here, when was the last time you talked to your child's teacher? When was the last time you went to the doctor, called the doctor? Why have you skipped the last 14 piano lessons? Did you even know your daughter's taking piano? So that's the kind of, just anticipate those gotcha questions like that. Anything in your finances are going to be examined in the court. You got enough money to spend on your, race cars, but why aren't you paying your child support on time? That's the kind of questions that you're going to be asked for. Now, there's also questions that your lawyer can ask you. Who is your child's hero? What does your child want to be when he or she grows up? What have you done with your child lately? Taught him how to change a tire, tie a fishing hook, tie a bow tie, tie a necktie, taking them to a specialty mentor, go to the museum and meet the astronaut on space day, things like that. What is your child interested in? If it's just video games, you can go to a video game convention or video game playoff. Go to one of those stores in the mall that sell the video games. Number one, your child's interests. Number two, you're doing something about it. Join a membership group. You could go on trips. You could do special events or travel or convention. Washington, D.C. is always having conventions on pretty much everything. So something like that you could work out. And again, take plenty of pictures. So if you don't know all the details of the secretary at the doctor's office or whatever, you can know the big picture type questions and show the judge your impact in your child's life. Number of standard questions you're going to get asked, a typical day with your child. And that'll be, the child wakes up, what time, do they take a shower at night, take a shower in the morning, clean clothes? What do you do? Lay them out? Are they folded? Are they in a pile in the corner? Which is not good. Down for breakfast. What do they have for breakfast? The different food groups. So you want a starch or fruit, a protein. So you can have milk, you can have eggs, you can have, healthy cereal. Try to avoid donuts and sugary cereals. Show the court that you're making the effort to provide a balanced meal. You could throw in how do you get a child to eat broccoli? And of course, the obvious answer is ketchup. And what if they still don't eat it? Well, then the answer is more ketchup. So you could do something like that just to show that you're involved, that you're making the effort, and that you're thinking about it. Some of the problems that you solve with your child would be how to clean his or her room. Well, why don't you take the child to a motel in the middle of the day and show the child how the cleaning lady cleans the rooms? They can turn a room in 5 minutes. So why can't your son or daughter get that down pat and do the same thing? You can also, there's certain things you should know growing up. Eventually everybody's going to have a car. Well, teach your child about the car. You obviously shouldn't let them drive the car, but this is the key, this is the ignition, this is the steering wheel, the turn signal, the rear view mirror. You could show them the engine. Here's check the oil, check the antifreeze, check the air pressure in the tire, depending on the age, how to change a tire, help you wax the car, clean the car, other things, even if you don't go, you could cook. If your child's favorite food is pizza, instead of just ordering it out, make a pizza, or go to an authentic pizza parlor and watch them make pizzas by hand and twirl it up in the air. Get pictures of that too. So anything really, educational. Every museum has events for kids. Every museum has a membership club or a membership program. Join that. You get a membership card that you're going to turn over in Discovery. You're going to have newsletters or event flyers. You turn those over in Discovery. You're going to go with your child to an event and learn how to separate trees in the fall, tree leaves in the fall, or, where do worms live, or go out to the country at night and, stargazing. Like I said, go to an event at a museum and meet an astronaut on Space Day or something like that. You've got a few months, maybe up to a year, to make all this stuff happen. If the child's having trouble in school and you don't know it, like math maybe, then find a tutor, find a mentor, talk to the teacher, email the teacher. What do we do? Can you recommend program or extra work for extra credit? There's certainly a whole lot of private tutors, storefront tutors. Mathnasium is one, Score is another. Sign your child up for that, and you get the records of attendance or not attendance. You bring the child, the mother doesn't. That looks good for you. And obviously you can hear that on cross-examination. Your husband signed the child up for math tutoring, but you never took him there. Why not? And, again, you can have gotcha questions right back at her. The teenager's going to want to know about cars, how to avoid being ripped off by a car dealer, for example. What are the tricks? How to make sure your car is in good shape, how to check your tires, how to check the air pressure, and how to change a tire. So how to change your windshield wiper, and you could get as involved in that as you want to. Headlights, interior lights, how to clean a car like a professional, any of that, and take pictures of it, show that you're the leader, you're moving your child through all the stages of life. What were you doing at that age? What do you remember about your father or mother at that age? And you can always talk to other fathers too, what they went through, what they do, skiing, fishing, motorbikes, car races, whatever, get involved in that, have the paperwork to turn over in discovery, and then have the pictures to back that up also. Decide whether you want to invite the mother along with you. It is a real good thing to do. You could do a family trip. You all meet at the baseball game, and then if the mother rejects it or doesn't come along, again, that makes you look good. She would have to explain it. If you invited her to 4 baseball games and she didn't show up for any of them, why? If your son plays a sport, make sure you show up for that. Make sure you talk to the parents and the parents know who you are. Make sure you're on the sports team Facebook group or email list. Make sure you know whoever's running it, the coach or the leader, and think about who's going to make a good witness for you. You might, mention we're having a little problem, and maybe sound them out if they wouldn't mind putting a good word for you in court, and then see if there'll be a witness for you or a witness against you. You want to tell your lawyer about the bad witnesses also. Don't forget about your family. A lot of people will go turtle. So you want to have your family available. You want to tell the judge, you want to show the judge your family's available. So in other words, there's a suspicion against men. It is what it is. But if your mother is there as a backup babysitter, your sister, your grandmother, your neighbor's mother, and is there and shows up to court and testifies that you're a great dad. You show them how to mow the lawn, how to change the motor oil in the riding lawnmower, or you give a ride to all the neighbors' kids to the Christmas tree sales or whatever. And you can always count on that person as a backup. One of the factors is, again, are you an organized person? You're going to get stuck at work. You're going to get stuck at a business trip. Your car is going to break. Something's going to happen, and you're going to need backup. There's my mother. There's my sister. There's my brother right there in the courtroom. They shouldn't wave at the judge, but the judge will notice who's in the courtroom. Almost like a wedding. The father's people sit on one side and the mother's people sit on the other. So even if you're not going to call these people as witnesses, just showing the judge that they care enough to be there at the trial, tells the judge, you've got backup, you're organized, you can make things happen. And if you're stuck, you can still make things happen. And you've got those people that you can count on. The child's not going to be standing on a street corner, for 4 hours because your car broke down or something. Think about all of the above involving the mother. Make sure you do that in writing, and then you can use that, again, making your own evidence. If she shows up, it's great. It shows the judge that the both of you can get along for the benefit of the child, which is actually one of the factors. At the beginning, I talked about that code sections. Well, that's one of the factors. You two people are separated, but you've got a child in common. Can you work together? Can you stand each other? Can you tolerate each other enough, for the benefit of the child? And again, if you're going to neutral places, you go out, have a singing birthday party at the pizza parlor, whatever, going to a museum, going to a sports game, going to a musical concert, you and the child and the mother take pictures, that you can show that to the judge. You get along with the other. And, the flip side is if the mother rejects it, that's something she's going to have to explain on the witness stand. Again, why did you reject the invitation to go to the Little League sports museum or whatever? Obviously, if you two just can't stop fighting, then you don't want to invite her along. But include her with, send her the pictures, send her the emails, certainly let her know where you're going. If you're going to go out of town to the Little League Museum up in Pennsylvania, tell her the time you're going to pick up your child, time you're going to come back, stick to it as best you can. If you're late, keep her up to date. And all of those emails, text messages, again, those will be evidence that you can show the court. And on a side note, make sure that whatever way you communicate, that you can get that, that your text messages are not automatically deleted, that you can print out your text messages. You do not want to be showing the judge the little screen on your cell phone. So make sure that you can be duplicated and enlarged. There's certainly a lot of programs out there. Try it now. Do not wait till the day before the documents are due. Online programs, My Family Wizard is one that is very, very favored, I guess, by the courts. It's a kind of online calendar for your child. You can put on appointments, medical information, school information. I think you're going to be able to put on pictures pretty soon. I think video, maybe not. But anyway, look them up. Plenty of YouTube videos on that, myfamilywizard.com. It's about $100. I think they have a premium with about $170. But again, if you sign up for it and the mother refuses to use it, why? Again, that's something that's going to make you look good and something that she'd have to explain in court. Think about who you want to be your witnesses. Again, you've got a few months to start planning this out. As I said before, obviously your family, you want people that are there, that are close to you. And, even if your family lives far away, if your mother lives in Florida, well, it's $70 for a flight up here, and she visits you up here 4 times a year. So she's literally a few hours away. So if there is an emergency, or if you do have to go out of town, or you get sick, your mother could be there. Again, the friends, in your neighborhood, there's a lot of guys in your position. Back each other up. Think about a support group. Think about a anger management class. You take one of these parenting classes and you get a certificate. And now, you've got more evidence to show the court. You made that extra step to take a parenting class. You just want to make sure you think you're a good parent now. You just want to make sure that you're doing everything right. And sure enough, you are. And here's the the graduation certificate to prove it. And, you'll meet other people. Tell your lawyer the bad things. And speaking of witnesses, if you've got problems, alcohol, drugs, whatever, go to AA, work the program, go to NA, work the program, and then you'll have somebody there at court that can testify in your favor as a sponsor, as a witness, as a friend. Yeah, I know them. Yeah, he came here. He's been going here for 4 months. He's been clean and sober. I know it because I know it. I lived it, right? Somebody else from AA or NA or your church. Go to church. Why don't more men go to church? I honestly don't know that. Take your child to church. If your child doesn't like church, go to another church, try out each location. There's a Washington, D.C., the giant National Cathedral. That's a really cool place to go. And then you have the Cathedral of the Orthodox Cathedral a few miles away. See what that's like, see how they practice religion there. You could learn about other religions, but having somebody from church, especially for a man, will really make you stand out. If you could have a minister, a preacher, a priest, this is their job, is helping people out of problems. And this is a pretty big problem, so you may talk to them. Certainly you'd want to have parents of your child's friends as witnesses. Your child is at an activity of sports or music or ballet or swimming. Attend those events, get to know the people, quietly mention what you have coming, the trial you have coming up, and would they be willing to testify? They be willing to be placed on the emergency list? You are so organized that you have an emergency list, which you gave the mother. And, these are the people on your list to call in the event of an emergency. And, they know your child's, habits, addresses, phone numbers, who to call. Even though they couldn't testify in court, you can turn over this list of your backup people. Again, even if they don't show up to sit in the audience in court. You're organized, you got things under control, you can manage the world, and you can manage your child. Teachers are really important. So all of the schools nowadays have electronic communication, whether it's newsletters, Facebooks, whether they have their own internal systems. They post homework online. I think most of them expect homework to be turned in online. Make sure you're familiar with all of that. And again, you're going to run into other fathers with the same problem that you have. Talk to them. How did they handle it? Have they started thinking about, after they graduate from high school or to college or trade school, trip around the world, whatever? You want to be able to show that you're planning for the future. You know how rough the world can be. You're trying to help your child along that path to succeed in life as an adult, really. There may be some other witnesses you might want to have, if your child's old enough to work, if your child's shoveling snow in the winter, bring that person. Little old lady in the neighborhood that pays your child, $5 to come in and, rake leaves or something like that. The fact that that person, the fact that that person's making an effort, and the fact that the person, even if just 5 or 10 minutes, just saying something nice about you, about your child, how well behaved he or she is, something like that. The court kind of figures your friends are going to say nice things, that your family is going to say nice things. Your teachers certainly will be a lot more objective, but if you can just get someone unrelated to say some nice stuff about you, that would help too. Unfortunately, you're going to be restricted in your trial and how much time you have at your trial. So you may have to have only a few witnesses, but anything that they can do in writing, phone messages, emails, pictures with them, a picture of your child earning his first $5 raking leaves, something like that. That's a document you could turn over and something you could show the court in 5 or 10 seconds. We get to the tough part now, and that is what's wrong with you. So that you'll definitely need to be honest with your lawyer. We talked about alcoholism and drug addictions. Think about what the mother's going to say about you. Why are you unreliable? Why are you dangerous for the child? Is the mother going to say you have creepy friends or creepy acquaintances who will endanger the child? Help your lawyer deal with that. That's called inoculation. So you want to make a list of all the things that are bad about you. If not, have your friend make a list. Are you a good father? Give that to your lawyer. So I hope this helped. Again, Randall Borden. I'm in Maryland and Virginia. Please subscribe. Please like the video. If you like this, let me know and I can make more of them like this. But the like button and the subscription button is very important. So I hope you found this valuable and thank you very much for listening. Bye.